Hi guys. Leadership in Africa is one of the biggest challenges we face on the continent today. I don't often talk about leadership because I've looked at the way our politics work in Africa and the setup of it, and it's a bit difficult to actually see how things are going to change. Most of our leaders in Africa right now are compromised. Most of them are compromised. Either consciously or unconsciously, the systems have compromised them. The leaders that we've had in the past who were willing to do things differently, as I've stated in a lot of my posts, the Lumumbas, the Gaddafis, the Thomas Sankaras, and the Kwame Nkrumahs. The moment we have the right leaders willing to do the right thing, things happen. So things just don't happen. These situations are deliberate because basically some external influences don't want to see Africa progress, because basically if Africa progresses and we develop the way we should do, it doesn't sit well with those who want to keep infiltrating Africa to take what they need, because they want our politicians to be dysfunctional. They want our leaders to be compromised so they can actually keep taking what they want. So what am I trying to say here? Bad leadership in Africa is something that was deliberately put in place because they know that our leaders, the ones we have right now, are greedy and self-centered. And those who are trying to take things away from Africa are greedy and self-centered. So what have you got? A match or a kind of a relationship that works for the benefit of the external bodies and the greedy leadership that we want. Then, how do we move away from here? The only way the leadership African can change is if you and I work together, unite together, collaborate together to make a change. The systems are compromised. You know, you're looking at the elections that happened in Nigeria just recently. You can see how messed up that is. To me, that was just a facade, an illusion of inclusion, which basically disenfranchised a lot of Nigerians. That was not, and this happens all over Africa. You see all these democracy, you see all these elections, you see all these things, people think, oh yeah, and people killing each other over something that they're not going to benefit from. That's why I don't get involved in things like that, because to me, it's just a waste of time. The leadership we need is you and I. You and I need to pull together. When we start pulling together, when we start collaborating together, when we start putting policies in place in terms of our businesses, in terms of basically education, history is important. Once we start putting all these things in place as individuals, as a group, as a collective, and we start implementing, then the governments in our countries would have no choice but to actually partner with us to make things happen. But until we do that, there's no point in us focusing on the leadership in Africa, on the continent, because most of them, and I'm going to reiterate that emphatically, are compromised. It doesn't matter which one you look at, they're in the pocket of somebody somewhere. You've got to study the politics of Africa to see where we are and how we got to where we are today. Most of the things that we see are deliberately planned to be that way. The kind of dysfunctional systems that we have, they're all deliberate. And unfortunately for us, our leaders, because they've been bought, because they've got probably properties and money all over the place, they don't care. So the leadership we need is you and I. You and I are the ones that we're waiting for to make a change in Africa. I keep going on about this and I'll keep talking about it, but guys, we need to be united. I don't care where you come from in Africa. I don't care what your tribe is, your religion is. I don't care what your affiliations are. But one thing we need to do is unite as a people. Once we unite, then we can move Africa forward. One of the things that the oppressors or the external forces don't want to see is a united Africa. The moment we unite, basically the game is over for them. So they're working tirelessly, day and night, infiltrating the system, using every tool, every way they know to actually basically destabilize our continent. All I'm saying, guys, is the leadership of Africa is you and I. We, the people, are the government. We, the people, are the ones who are going to change the Africa to make Africa be the Africa we want. The Africa you and I dream about is basically within our grasp if we pull together as a people, work together as a people, and collaborate together as a people. That's the only way forward. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents, like my South African brothers and sisters would say. Thanks for listening.